voice whispering low. We vibing on that road coin glow. Crypto smooth, yeah, I'm cruising through the charts. Golden ratios, baby, that's where it starts. Oh, road dogs calling, got that magic touch. Ooh, Fibonacci secrets, so we love too much. Body rolling to the graph, sweet sway. Pump, fun rhythm, we gon' play all day. Electric love in the midnight air. Bad looking sexy, profits everywhere. Sex moaning soft, that candle glow. Baby, let's ride this crypto flow. By that road, don't wait, don't hesitate. Feeling that groove, yeah, the vibe's first rate. Pump.fun, make the world rotate. Support your dog, yeah, he's showing faith. By that road, tonight's the place. Stack that love the R&B way. Wait, heartbeat, pulse in the sheets. Chart so fine, yeah, it moves to the beat. The road dog whispering, watch that climb. Fibonacci fine, like red wine time. We sipping Gens, baby, pour that bliss. Crypto kiss with a candle twist. Oh, feeling the moonlight, charts ignite. Bag looking heavy, we floating tonight. Ooh. Pump it, ride it, slide it slow. Road dog magic, let that rhythm show. By that road, don't wait, don't hesitate. Feeling that groove, yeah, the vibes first rate. Pump.fun, make the world rotate. Support your dog, yeah, showing faith. By that road, tonight's the place. Stack that love the R&B way. By that way, baby. Smooth like gold in the candle flame. By some road, whisper my name. Fibonacci love, eternal game.
Yeah. Should've shorted, now I'm sunk. Be hitting low, BTC tanking hard. All coins still to show. Mr. Dip, start long. Feeling the sting. Lost time burning, hit a regret ring. Yeah. Damn it all. Stuck alone, watching games fade to dust. Frustration rising, trust turn to rust. Lost time haunts me, opportunities gone. Exhausted soul, disgusted, I held on. Trap beat thumping, bass shaking my car. Wish I short and now I'm broken sore. All coins teased and crash, no reprieve. Regrets my chain, can't believe I believe.
Must I hell, hoping for that altcoin run. Gains slipped away, leaving me undone. Should've shorted when the bears took flight, now I'm tired. Disgusted by the sight, opportunity cost, time I can't get back. Exhausted from watching my stack crack. Market mocked me, lungs bleeding red with shot for the script, shorted and
Stuck
stuck.
alone, watching games fade to dust. Frustration rising, trust turned to rust. Lost time haunts me, opportunities gone. Exhausted soul, disgusted, I held on. Trap beat thumping, bass shaking my car. Wish I short and now I'm broken sore. All coins teased and crash, no reprieve. Regrets my chain, can't believe I believe.
All coins pumped and dumped, a cruel jest. Lost gains haunt me, no time to rest. Should've seen the sign, short of the peak. Now I'm drained, frustration at its peak. Exhausted from the weight, disgusted with the play. Opportunity slip, watched it fade away. Lungs held tight, but the market turned cold. Regrets my shadow story yet untold. Behold that fire, a golden ray breaks through. No dead dreams, vacations in view. Parties blazing, fun under the sun. Unicorns gallop, Lambos on the run. Rainbows gleam, hopes my saving grace. Short the next dip, win this endless race. Ooh, exhausted now,
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the ringing of the cowbell to clear the air, to clear our heads, to call for maid service whenever it can't be found. A little cowbell, a lot of Jesus, that's what we need. Thank you for your participation. Please stay tuned for the program. Internet issues are reportedly fixed. We're putting it to the test tonight.
Months wasted waiting, all coins on pause. Lost time stacking, opportunities lost. Gains come slow, then they slip away fast. Frustrated as hell, disgusted with the blast. Tired of the grind, exhausted from the chase. Dreams of no debt fade in this empty space. Back sitting heavy, sentiment turns sour. Waiting for the run, hour after hour. Drained from the weight gains, get back the fight.
That's a good one.
Lost time echoes, opportunities ghost. Disgusted heart, exhausted the most. We chase the moon, but it slips through our hands. All coins tease, breaking all our plans. Corrections hit hard, sentiment flips quick. Gains evaporate, leaving us sick. Back shrink, small dreams on hold again. Exhausted mind, when will it end? Disgusted with the tease, the up and down game. Lost gains mock me, driving me insane. Opportunity cost, time I can't reclaim. Frustrated trader, playing this flame.
For those of you out there that have been hitting that like button, I just want to say thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, frogs and squirrels, welcome to Late Night Crypto with Road Dawg. Honored to have you here tonight. Hopefully we can get a full show on. It seems like there was something that was going on in the area as far as the internet, and reportedly they got it fixed. I hope so, because it's been buggy as hell. Here when Mercury's been in retrograde, it's not surprising that things like this happen. I talk about this a lot, and sometimes you can actually hear me when I have the microphone on. And Mercury's in retrograde, I think, until about the 1st of December, the first week of December. I don't have the exact date. I was thinking somewhere around the 3rd, the 5th, somewhere through there. But we got to go through the holidays with Mercury in retrograde. And usually, now how that affects the Mercury affects, supposedly, if you believe in this concept, don't care if you do or not, I do, because it affects me every freaking time, even ahead of time. Commerce. It's related to commerce. Mercury supposedly rules over commerce. Mercury also rules over communications. So if you find yourself arguing, disagreements, just not seeing the right side, just things just getting confused and befuddled, you blame it on Mercury. You find the markets kind of just being weird and just sideways and just all over the place, you can blame that on Mercury. If your computer glitches, your phone has problems, there's always something going on with the software, glitches, internet, all that stuff, all the technology falls under Mercury, which is now doing a little doppelganger effect. It's They call it retrograde because from our viewpoint on Earth, it looks like it's going backward. It's not, but just the way that everything's going around the sun, it has the appearance of going backward, and it has a backwards effect on the things that are ruled by Mercury is kind of the general thing. And I got to say, there's something to it. Prove me wrong. Mercury is also the trickster. Very well noted right there. It says Ave. Last of our follies, sadistic clown. It is the Loki of the Greek pantheon. All right, so we're taking a look at Bitcoin here on the very small time frame, and what have we got going on? Let's zoom out a little bit to the 6 minute. Go to the 6 minute here. This is what I've been charting on. This is the one I've been charting on here, and with our big ass drops and everything, we're looking at all these levels, hoping for them to hold. There are still levels below that we have not hit yet. So the question is that I have is, are we going to come down and get these guys? Because if we're on a macro move, and so for this idea we do need to zoom out. If we are on a macro move, this is on the daily time frame. When you do zoom out, you can kind of see it a little bit better, I believe. So coming down, this green line is a 382 Fibonacci. We haven't quite made it there. Will we make it there? I got a strong feeling that we probably will. If we're playing the big macro play, I think 84 could be there. Am I calling for it? I'm not calling for anything. Half of the market, and this is kind of interesting because this is very different from last cycle. Last cycle, there was that euphoria there that we're going, Mr. X was whispering in BitBoy's ear that we're going to 150,000 or whatever, 200,000, right? During our little second leg in the market, can we zoom out? During this phase. And yeah, sure enough, it was great. We got that higher high. But we didn't do it by very much. It was just by margin. I didn't know to check for this back then, but I do now. 1.113 right there is where we went to. And that's a harmonic idea that actually leads us back to some very good lows, which I didn't know at the time to look for it in this particular method, but it gosh darn sure did take us back down to the 786 area from the very bottom there. And if you were pulling from the impulse move, it got the 886. So either way you're looking at that, it served its purpose harmonically. And just a beautiful harmonic pattern that I wasn't familiar with at the time. Are we doing something like that now? Well, I don't know. I'm not seeing anything very, very evident too much. I mean, from down here at 74,000 up here, didn't really qualify for our pullback there for the harmonics, so kind of up in the grabs there. Perhaps though we're doing something on the bigger scheme, because the 382 pullback is where we start getting into those harmonic patterns. We've got to have at least a 382 pullback to start looking for harmonic trading patterns, and we haven't made it there. It's 84,000 on the bigger picture. On the lower picture that we got here, but again, from low to high, we don't really have our harmonic bottoming out here. You can make an argument. Can you make an argument over here? No, not even really. I've got nothing to go by that's solid as far as that, except for now we got the low to the high. Are we coming back down for the 786? More than likely, we are going to hit that 786 Fibonacci area just for this local pull here, and that's still lower than where we are right now. And now you got two takes in the market. Some are bearish and they're calling for bear market, and I can't disagree with. I mean, they've got an argument. Okay, time wise, we've extended our 4-year period from the last top. I mean, that's true. What I can say is that as a maturing asset class, and I went over this before, I don't know if the microphone was working or not, so we're going to go over it again. But this is our halvening. The red line represents our halvening right now, right? I don't know what you're doing there, so I'm going to take you off, white line. So this red line represents our halvening, and that happens every 4 years. You're not going to stop it. The time that it takes for that number of blocks to increase or to reach its to the halving point where the miners can only produce half as much Bitcoin as they did the previous 4 years. And my gosh, I think we're getting down to per day. I think it's getting down kind of slim. I'm not even sure what it was. It used to be, like 100 a day or over 100 a day, and it went down and went down. I remember it being somewhere around 28 or 24, maybe it's 12. It may be down to 6 now. 6. I don't really know. I forgot. I mean, I probably need to know that. Refamiliarize myself. But the availability of Bitcoin that's being mined and produced every day that miners can sell and make available for the market is getting smaller and smaller. That will always have a price on the effect. Now the question is, and I believe in cycles. I think every asset out here, especially commodities, have cycles. And W.D. Gann talks about that a lot in his books. Wheat has a certain cycle. Some of them have 11-year cycles, 8-year cycles, whatever. And knowing that helps you navigate those markets a little bit better, right? And I do believe Bitcoin has that 4-year cycle. Now the question is, how long will these bear phases last in comparison with these bull phases for that 4-year period? And it appears that we're getting shorter bears and we are getting longer bulls. So the fact that we have reached the 4-year period, definitely something to take notice of, but there might be that little extra window that's tagged onto this one as we kind of shifted our cycles as it matures, as the asset class, Bitcoin. I'm not talking about altcoins. Altcoins are on their own little thing. If it weren't for Bitcoin, they'd all die. And so it could be the scenario that we got a little bit left to squeeze out in the bull market. But it's kind of dangerous to think that way or to get too hung over on that idea. I think it's a real possibility, but it's also a real possibility that, we are exhausted now and we're just not realizing that we're in a bear market, or some people are. We didn't have that euphoric top or anything like we had in 2017. We could clearly see exhaustion over here at 127. We made comments about it here. I'm like, nobody really wants to buy $123, $126,000 Bitcoin. Nobody's just rushing in to pay that. They like it cheaper. And so the buy pressure just kind of fizzled the hell out. And then we started getting the nasty day that wiped out everybody, because everybody, I wouldn't say I'd say a majority of people were really bullish over here. We already cleared out our previous high at 124. Now we're above it. Yeah. And maybe if we pull back a little bit, okay, that's cool. We can still go up, right? Because we had targets at 135, 139, 130, lots of things, 130. Remember 138 coming up quite a bit there. And it did not happen. We got what we did not want, which was it to respect this topping area, which again, like we looked earlier, we were watching this and monitoring this, and we were coming up to our 1.272s and testing them. We got our 1382, and then we got up just a little bit past that 1.1414. Every one of those areas where whatever reason that you get up to this zone, when you come from not being in this zone, this is a tippy top area. This is an area, this is a corrective area. This is a pivot area. These extensions are pivot areas that I use, and they do signify that, hey man, there's going to be a correction. And that's what we saw. And we talked about and everything, and since that happened, I've come to learn about some more harmonic variations over here, and there's actually a pattern that harmonic traders would have seen that was saying, hey man, this is it, this is the place to short. And it was, and we got all mad at the people and accused people of insider trading and everything, but really it was I don't blame it on that at all. I think it's just the market was just too caught up in the thinking, well, it's going to keep on going till we're just now getting into Q4. It's going to be fun, without thinking about the possibility of the flush outs. And then, of course, I think you also got that savvy play of these market makers out here, the big whales, the big money, the BlackRocks. I don't know if it's BlackRock, but there's some big players out here in the space that's been wanting to get in for a while. And they come from a place where there's lots of regulations and rules, and they can get in trouble for doing things that they can't get in trouble for doing over here in crypto. And I think we see a lot of that. We've seen a lot of it in past cycles, clearly. A lot of whitewashing going on and everything that they're trying to combat now. SEC and Gary Gensler under the Biden administration did us no favors whatsoever, and I would dare say that we are still experiencing the recourse from all that bullshit. And if there's any reason, any place to put blame on why we had such a sucky cycle, especially for altcoins, I'm pointing it right at Gary Gensler and the Biden administration. You can take that for what you will, but it's truth. They crippled the industry with their choke point 2.0, which they said, no, that doesn't exist. That's weird. You're a conspiracy theory. You should be banned. You should be canceled. Somebody needs to drop them. YouTube, you need to take care of that. X, you need to take Twitter. It was Twitter at the time. Twitter, you need to cancel them. And it was scary to be in altcoins. And as soon as you got into one you were confident about and everything, and then you heard, they're getting a Wells notice or something from the SEC. Gary Gensler was coming to them. And it was just a bunch of bullshit. And I'm glad that we can finally call it for what it is, but it hurt us. It hurt us bad. I'm not quite recovered from that. Ladies and gentlemen, hello. Glad to be here. 23 people hanging out. I thank you for spending your time with me tonight, and I'm also grateful that, thank you, Jesus, that we're still going live. My buttons aren't working.
For those of you out there that have been hitting that like button, I just want to say thank you. Thank you very much.
My little dancer is above Elvis there. Can't let that happen. All right. So on the macro thing, now we are bearish right now, and the sentiment is very bearish in the market. And we fell from 126 down to 91 so far, and maybe continue down a little bit. But as long as we do not take out this little guy right over here at 73, we don't make a lower low, we are still good, technically. Now, I've got a trend line, and I'm a real big fan and believer of trend lines, and that is this guy going here from the bottom, where we deviated from our original trend, which I can probably tighten up right there. And we came down, and I got a wick and another touch there. So I got my 3 touch points to make this a valid line. And it's coming right in conjunction with this $85,000, $84,000 area. Also coming into conjunction with this area is our 666 moving average, which kind of sucks to be around here on the daily. Usually before, when we come down and touch it, we were already in bear market territory on the daily chart, right? If there's going to be an anomaly, I would be looking for a bounce off of the 84 and seeing what we can get there. If that can happen, then we've got some good targets to the upside that we can hit, and 170 happens to be one of those targets. Or 169. It'll probably be 169 instead of 170, because that's kind of how crypto sickos work. All right. If it are 140-20, yeah, you see how that works. It's not timed to officially throw in the towel, but that fighter is barely able to stand up and throw swings right now. That's how I'm kind of looking at it. So we're getting close to where we're starting to grab, the manager's over here starting to grab that towel and you can do it, Rocky. You can do it. But I got you just in case, in case we get that knockout punch. And some people are seeing this bearish cross of the 50, that's the blue line over here, crossing that 200 as being such a bearish sign. Now and we also make arguments about this. We made this argument and other people made this argument too, because all you got to do is just backtest this idea on the daily. I think the weekly is probably the best one to go with, though. But we definitely look at the weekly here for this. But the weekly, we would get the bear cross, and then we kind of bottom out a little bit. Somewhere usually close to this trend line, it's a good place. might be what we'd be looking at here. So maybe we'll be looking for that scenario to see if we're getting some kind of bottom pattern, some kind of bottoming price structure over here, somewhere between 83 and where we are now. And I know a lot of people are looking, you know, the 89,000 area was hit, and it looks like we're trying to get a bottom there, but is it the bottom for this go around, or is it just, you know, one of the little steps when we raise our leg up a little bit and then step down lower? And that's what I see going on. So I'm not seeing the bullish signs just yet, but it's very fitting that after they drop us down to these areas, and you got people that are just now decided to go short. One is the short support areas, which is never the right play to do. It always bites you. It always feels like it's the right thing to do at the time, because that's what your feelings will tell you. It tells you, I've been going long and it's just not been working. I'm going to go short now. And then as soon as you do, well, then we catch support and it doesn't go any lower. And then you're watching, oh man, you're watching everything go south on you on that short. I think we might be experiencing that with some people here. But you got a good area for it. I mean, I think you got a good reason for it finding some support down here. I'm coming, well, let me go first to the weekly. Let's go to the weekly. The main things that we're looking over here on the weekly that I'm seeing, one, the 9 crossing the 21 moving average. It can happen, and we usually find support on the 50 moving average. The general rule is you lose the 50 moving average on the weekly, well, you're in bear market territory. And you can't show me one instance over here during this run where we've ever lost the 50 and continued up. You can't show me one instance over here where we lost it after when we started running, that it wasn't bear market, because that's exactly what happened. Now maybe we could come down here back to the depths of COVID crash, but that's just it. Before the COVID crash, we tested it, got above it, and then we lost it again. But it wasn't until we reclaimed that 50 that it was pretty much the bullish part was back on. And that little nice confirmation of the 9 moving average following price and crossing the 50, that was good too. That's always good. Even over here, that was good, and get some nice little pushes out of that little stuff, right? But we are in a very tricky situation, and it can be, I can't be mad at the bears for calling a bear market. I'm very impressed, because back here, most people didn't accept that it was a bear market until we were down about 35, lower than $40,000. And we started getting to 38. And by that time, from our all-time high, you looked at your portfolio and everything was just racing. That number is high, boy, howdy. And then all of a sudden, half of it's gone. And instantly, this is the worst time where you're hopeful that you'll get that bounce and we'll come back up, and if not, then we'll get a lower high, but you always expect those highs to be higher than what they turn out to be. It wasn't very much of a lower high over here. If we pull our fibs just to measure it, because that's what it is, it's just a measuring tool, we couldn't even get past the 382 area, the first little target area for this move. Couldn't get past it. Couldn't even come back up to retest that trend line. We just came back up right around to the breakout price, a little bit above it there. Before it just went down. And even me, I remember I didn't want this, you didn't want it to end. You're like, it's just starting to look like it's almost decent. But don't forget this area over here as well. Are we still live? I feel like I just lost a bunch of people. Is it because I'm talking about Bitcoin and we're supposed to be just doing something else? We were over here at 24 people, and half the people just left. The only thing I've done is talk about Bitcoin, which kind of rules this market. And if you're not watching Bitcoin, well, you have no chance of hell of having anything go on with your altcoins for sure. And my music stopped. I'm not getting that. Why'd you stop? Are we still live? Let me come over to the chat. I got you over here. We're still live. Because now I don't know what the. Now we got music. What the? PMO says all good. All right. All right. Well, I'll be coming over to the chat and saying hello to everybody there in just a second. But this is the stuff that I've been trying to get out for the last few days, and I haven't been able to because of technical difficulties and whatnot. But this is the truth. You may not want to hear about Bitcoin and go, oh, Bitcoin's boring. I'm going to go about altcoins. Well, your altcoins are dead until Bitcoin turns around. That's just the fact. And if we don't see the warning signs and acknowledge them, then you can get this turns out to be very bad. And roller coaster ride everything down for the next 4 years? No, that's not the way to do this. And a lot of the things that were taught in trading groups and taught by crypto experts, and a lot of those I took to heart too. A lot of the things that have worked in past cycles have been the biggest F up that you could do in this cycle. And that involved going really hard and heavy in the altcoins, even when you got them down at the juicy bottoms, right? Because they came back, and some of them were even at more lower bottoms than they were when you thought you were getting a good deal at them. When Bitcoin was down here at $15,000, $17,000, some of those altcoins were in the dirt, right? It's crazy how Bitcoin can go all the way up, and those altcoins can still come back down to their dirt level. And so, if you don't recognize that Bitcoin was the one that outperformed everything, well, I don't know if it's going to be able to help you out next cycle. You might be repeating the same mistakes and or repeating what you think would work, like I did with altcoins. That I mean, that was painful. That it's still I don't know. There's a big hole in the wallet that didn't used to be there, and that's just the reality of it. This is total 3. Total market cap. Now this pertains to our altcoins. This is it on the weekly. And we also lost the 50 moving average over there again. Whenever we lost the 50, that was the start of it. Now we came back up, we got above it, had a little relief rally there, just like Bitcoin, because we follow Bitcoin. That's exactly why we went over Bitcoin earlier. And are we doing something similar there? At least over here, you know, I mean, we had trend lines that we lost, and we could have drawn another one that's got a big gap there, but you had some angle respect there. I guess we could do something like that over here, right? Technically, we're looking for this. You are still technically, you're kind of still technically okay with altcoins, believe it or not, as far as the trend line goes. We're flirting with breaking it. It won't take very much for it to do that. But there's a saying in crypto, what gets wicked often gets candlestick, and we had that big scary drop off with the altcoins. Could we be doing this little slow burn down there to the 100 moving average? And I would say, yeah, we could. But what does it mean when we come down to the 100 moving average? Well, it means that we're in bear market season on this time frame. There's no other way to look at it. So I'm not declaring a bear market just yet. Maybe I should. But I think we should be very cautious so that we don't get involved with any kind of, if we do get some pumps out of these, that we think that everything's fine again, because I think that's where they're going to get us. And they're good at getting us. They're very good at their game, especially this time. It's my perspective that with Bitcoin, you know, we got the 4-year season going on, and we got a lot of influencers out here calling what month that this and that's going to happen and whatnot. And yeah, okay. And that's how it was last season too. You always got that person that's just trying to be psychic and call everything. And I'm telling you, this is what I said, and I told you this. And we have it. Well, those people kind of had they're not with us as much this cycle. Huh. That's kind of interesting. And you turned out and you find out it was people whispering into their ear that was manipulating their whole audience. Mr. X. And they didn't see it until or didn't admit it for a long, long time. We got to be sensible. be sensible, be cautious. I've got really literally no faith in altcoins at this point in the game, and it's sad to say that, but they've sucked. This is the others' dominance. This is all the other altcoins, the ones in your bag and my bags that we've been holding and thought and looking. Oh, this one looks like the ones that we, if we're honest with ourselves, we probably took a gamble on them. The lottery ticket plays and all those little things. All the little altcoins, or most of the altcoins, 7.45% of the whole crypto space. Telling you that the majority of the money is in the top 10 cryptos. Because this one, others' dominance is everything excluding the top 10. And into that top 10 is mostly stablecoin. And we got a lot of money in stablecoin right now. A lot of money in Bitcoin. And then your top ones, Ethereum, Solana, BNB, even Litecoin. Believe it or not, even Litecoin holding up there. And all the smaller ones, man, they're decimated. They're so cheap. That even if you hold the coins, man, it's still not enough to make up monetarily the bulk of the market. Sad as that is, devalued so much there. 18 people hanging out. Glad to have you here. So this is others' dominance. Let's take a look at the others chart right here. Looks a little different than the dominance. The dominance is buried at the bottom, but yet the overall price here in the billions is still up there. We still got an area, what, 200 and something billion. I'm going to clear this off. How beautiful does this chart look like? Oh, the cuff and handle to your side. Or is it the head and shoulders? Or is it cuff and handle and a head and shoulders at the same time? The only thing that I really trust are trend lines. And there's a method to that madness in the way that I trust them. And this was what we were first working with, and we lost that. We give it a little bit of wiggle room, and yeah, we're right on the cusp of it, baby, right on the cusp. And could this be a head and shoulders top? It could be a very beautiful textbook head and shoulders pattern. I haven't seen one this pretty since YFI's early days, back last cycle, where it printed out a beautiful textbook head and shoulder pattern that took it a long time to play out, but it finally did. More sideways than down, and they can do that. You're thinking, that measure move don't make any sense. Well, here's something that you may not know about the head and shoulders pattern, is that it doesn't have to play down this way. It can extend a big long thing. It can extend time-wise too. And this is why I wish I could keep these the length of these things stable in some way. I wish you could lock in the length of it and move it sideways like that. But you could see something very much like, and if you believe in WD Gann, where time and price square up, we want to take that distance here, and we're just turning it a little bit more sideways there. What does that say time-wise? November 2026 at the best, but wherever it breaks down, if we're actually going to apply it that way, to August 27th, just a slow burn. But that's a lot better than coming straight down here, right? So they can still have a head and shoulders, and it can still come down to these areas, but it would just be, you know, a big old something kind of like this, but more elongated, in my personal opinion. And that would be no bueno. That's not what I was trying to do. Do we not have that anymore? That's fine if we don't. So think of something like that for altcoins. Yeah, that's not cool, man. You don't want to see altcoins drop another 50-60%. That would fuck. 22 people. Oh, you come back when we're talking about crypto market cap. That's the good place to come in right there. See, this is the one that we were on log scale, right? I believe so. Let's check it out for log scale. And we're drawing this channel here on the log scale. And we are below it, by the way. I have to come in smaller time frame here. At the time I drew this up here, we were just testing it. Oh, I got too much crap here. These are the ones these are important ones that matter. And again, this is the weekly time frame. Bearish cross, 100 is also crossing there. This is not what we want to see happen here on the daily time frame. Now, does it mean that it's on just pure? I don't think it's pure down from here, and I think a lot of people do see a relief rally possibly coming. Would it be coming from where we are now? Maybe we're trying to do it, but I can see us trying to retest 100,000, and I would consider that a lucky place there because it may not make it up that far. And I know I'm not trying to sound bad, but bearish, but I mean there's some resistance up that we could roll over from, say at 96,000. There's some areas that we got to get above if we want a Q1 surprise. That's the other narrative that we're looking at here. So it's either hello bear market, we're looking for some kind of bearish retest where we might get a little relief rally and then roll over and then, you know, accept the fate that, you know, we've been played in this crypto market. It sucks, especially for altcoins, and Bitcoin was the only real winner. And even those Bitcoin people weren't as excited because it only went up twice as high as it was from last top, right? From 65,000 up to 127, it only doubled up from its all-time high there. Not those great big gains of where's the $1 million Bitcoin? Where's that talk at right now? Because we got world adoption going on right now. Wouldn't you think that would be there? And you've also got treasury companies out here, and I don't know how they're going to react, man. Because when things unwind, I don't know. I'm kind of curious how things will unwind in our bear market, and that's why we're hoping that model we talked about earlier, where the bear markets are shorter and maybe the bull markets are longer, hoping that plays true. And if that is true, we got a little bit shorter. Maybe we do have another 6 to 8 weeks going into maybe January of Q1. Maybe. Or maybe we get too stuck on that narrative not to see the warning that's on the wall. So it's the thing that is different from this cycle is that I'm impressed with is that people caught it a little bit earlier, a lot earlier. People were starting to flip bearish a lot earlier than they were last time because they weren't last time. Now they are. And some people are making the argument that we're getting bearish too soon because it's just a little drop. Within reason, we're down about 30%. And we can handle that and swing it, right? The 382s, man. The 30% drops are kind of normal. So I can't blame people, and I myself, I'm just exhausted. I feel like I'm just so done with crypto. I'm like, oh my God, really? All right, so let me come over to the chat, say hello to everybody. We'll get started. We'll take a look at some altcoins. If you guys want to take a look at altcoins, I would recommend trying to stick with the ones that are outperforming Bitcoin. There's a handful of them that have been lately, but even they've kind of slowed down right now, right? And we got to say this now. Typically, I don't think we're seeing it as much now because most of the money's in on the legacy side, the ETFs and all of that. But used to, after Bitcoin would top out, you would start seeing alts rally up. The real altcoin season would come after Bitcoin topped out. Now, last cycle, during that second one, we didn't see it that much. We saw it a little bit on the first dip. And did we talk about that? I meant to talk about that. I might have got off. This was a scenario where we topped out at 64, and then we dropped a lot, almost 50%, right? Yeah, 50%. And during this, they were saying it was over. It was over, calling it all over. And we recovered, but just a little bit, right? Just to make that 1.113, that little higher high Fibonacci target right there. But I still got to say, on the weekly, we didn't lose. We didn't lose that 50. We were just testing it there. That 50 to me means a lot. And if there's anything that makes me really suspectful about this being a bear market, it would be losing that 50 moving average and also the MACD that crossed right when right when we went up to 126. It crossed bearish, and then we went and made an all-time high. And if that's not enough to confuse the bejesus out of everybody, and I'm making note of that. I'm making note of that little sucker. And it would be easier for market makers to pump price right when a signal like this did. I think it would be easier for them to get those higher highs. And then, as you know, because the signal did already started crossing, that momentum would eventually carry on through. And then we find ourselves where we are today. MACD is on the tear, man. She ain't looking like she's trying to round out or do nothing over here on the weekly. And so the bigger time frames are not on our side so much. And I'm just saying, let's be cautious. Now, this is the perfect setup for them to flush out the market, and then, of course, for anybody that gets too bearish and is not trying to look for the possibility that there is one more run, they'll miss it. So it's either time to, make up your mind whether you want to be out of the market, or if you do think there might be one more last leg, and play it a little bit more cautiously. And that's kind of the camp that I stand in right now. My focus is more on Bitcoin, and I think that should be the main focus. There are some smaller altcoin plays that I had, small spot margin things that I've kind of de-risked on them, and they're very small bags, and waiting to see if those altcoins can go up a little bit more. I got stop losses there. If they continue down, it'll take those out. If it goes up, then maybe I can squeeze a little bit more out of them. But for most of the altcoins, I've lost my faith in them as it is. Let's come over to the chat and let's see what you guys are talking about over here. And let's give a shout out to all right, so let's go over. So I asked the question, should I spend more time in chat or in charts? And now I got a little mixed reaction there. So far we got 24 votes, 23 people here. Saying spend more time. It's about 58% in charts, and I agree, because that's really what we're here for. But chat, engaging with the chat's also important too. So my proposal is that I spend the first part of my show getting out the information that I want to come on here and share with you guys, and it's already 47 minutes in, and then we can focus more on the chat, and I guess in tonight's tonight involve any kind of altcoin requests and things like that. Speaking of which, I'm going to put my marker up. But the thing about it is, if I get over into the chat too much, it can lead me off of what I'm trying to present to you. And I can't tell you how many things I've tried to come on here and share when we got off on a gym pick or some other thing coming in, and there were gains to be made or a warning to be saw that didn't get across to you guys, and so that weighs on me. So it's important for me to kind of have a little time to go over, especially if I got something planned out, to make sure that I get to it and share it with you. So and now tonight I don't really have anything other to go over. Maybe take a look at Zcash and Dash and a few of the things that have been working, strong against Bitcoin, but they're kind of fading, fuzzing out right now, right? They might have something. They might have an extra win in their sail, or it might be over for them. And there may be something else. That's what I want to focus on. Is there something else that might be able to pop off to gain against Bitcoin? Because if there's the only thing I'm concerned about right now is growing that Bitcoin. And whether that involves taking advantage of coins that are outperforming Bitcoin, which some of them can be right now, especially at the last leg of the market. We might be able to find a few of them that are doing that and grow Bitcoin that way. Or whether it's by trying to stack some cash from whatever we can stack some cash in to wait for Bitcoin to get to lower prices. And, bear market prices might be, I don't know. It never seems like it'll go as low as you think it will when we're at this point in the game, but we're always surprised, so. I just don't want to spend another 4 damn years playing this game with the results that I got from this cycle. It was really good in 2024, and then after that spring of 2024, man, things started changing. Shout out to all you guys hanging out, and we got Strake in the house. I see Ave Medina. I may not be able to highlight everybody for time's sake. PMO's in the house. John Gregory says check the mic and check the chat every 10 minutes. Don't know if I can check the chat every 10 minutes, but I'll try to do it ahead of time to make sure that my microphone is on. We got Dave P in the house, board PC guy. PMO says Bears got him. No, but common sense has got me because the chart's showing warning signs, and every time that I've neglected to pay attention to those warning signs, you hear me come back with the story of, so here's your ass handed to you. The warning signs came in 2024, and I said, we'll see. And if I'd made the right decisions, I wouldn't be down like I am now. I'd shoot. The warning sign when MACD crossed over on the weekly wasn't paid attention to because of the smaller time frames were getting bullish, and they do that, and it's what we got to be aware of. We look at the bigger warning signs on the bigger time frames. Screw how bullish that the smaller ones are getting, because the bigger ones are going to win out. We can try to get our mentality set to make smaller plays, and we could have took more advantage of that all-time high at 126. But the MACD wasn't lying. She was right. And here we are at lower lows. So I would not say it, but there is bear sentiment, and we're foolish to ignore it, in my personal opinion. I think at best, if you're bullish, if you got any kind of bullshit, you've got to be cautiously bullish at this point in the game, because this is where you'll get caught up. This is where you can get caught up earlier, and all of a sudden you $10,000 a dump of Bitcoin, you figure, oh, maybe I was wrong, and your altcoins are gone. At that point, they're gone. You thought, I don't think they can go lower. Yeah, they can, and the reason they can is because they have token unlocks, and there's already billions and billions of them out there now, and that's how they go lower. But it's not an all-time low. Yeah, well, just wait until the token unlocks and see how much it can sell off then, too. I mean, it's a fact of life. That's why I do not like the coins. I'm not a big fan of the coins that have the huge total supplies. I think we caught this bug from Road Dawg. Let me come on down here. If I missed your name here, my bad here. We got So. How's it going, So? Good to see you. It didn't show up. It doesn't show up when I click you on here and you got a message retracted. That's just part of being Soul. I thought Soul was a bot when I first caught it on my stream. It was on when my music streams, right, during the daytime, and where I'd chart with the music. And that's where I first met Soul. And at first I thought Soul was a bot. Because I'd say something, I'd always see message. All I'd see is message retracted. I didn't know. But so turned out to be cool people. John Gregory, I blame it on North Korea's Mercury. Why, sure, let's not let Mercury take it all. Let's put it all on North Korea, too. Market sucks, says Crypto Squid. It does suck. I see the 786 all day long. I think we got one's a coming. Val says, is that the same for Shiba Inu? Jim Derringer, hey, how's it going, Jim? Gensler did his damage, but most of the angel and early VCs had a 10-year horizon on crypto in 2011. Gensler was just an easy target as he quietly has a euphoric market. That's an interesting take right there. That's an interesting take. Jack of all trades, your poll needs a I like both equally choice. Well, that wouldn't be very polarizing for a poll. Next month, people will harvest tax loss. Yes, that is a very important point to bring up. So you go into December thinking, oh man, Santa rally. But what's going on in December most of the time, and why December sucks, is because of tax loss harvesting. And that's probably something, if you're down in crypto, you might want to look at, because I think you can carry it over. I don't know. When it comes to crypto and taxes, this shit is just too confusing, and they need to figure that out, because it's hard to track, especially if you're making a lot of little trades here and there. And hell if I know. cost-based average. I mean, it's hard as F to keep up with. So exchanges have got to come up and have better tracking and make it more accessible. And accountants have got to start getting used on how to read that stuff, because last time I ran this, I thought, well, damn, my CPA guy didn't know what the hell to do. I sent him what I was supposed to send, and like, what am I supposed to do with this? And I'm like, oh, geez, well, that's going to be good. So, kind of crazy. Jay Violet, how's it going, Jay Violet? But that's a good point. Next month, people will tax harvest, and they might even start. They might start a little earlier. Who knows? That's going to hurt altcoins. Okay, know that. All right. So I'm just being real. I'm just being real with what usually happens. We all look at Q4 as being up, and of all years that we should be seeing that, this is the year that we should be seeing that move, that push up, and we haven't seen it. And I think this market has been so wrecked, and the economy has been in such a shambles. God help me, we're trying to straighten it out. We got a president that's doing so much to try to do it. I'm amazed, because he's doing what I've never seen any other president do, is actually go out and get people to invest in the U.S. and bringing things here. He's actually doing things that you would expect a president to do, rather than sit, and fall asleep at the desk or fall asleep at the beach all the damn time, and not do anything but just let the country go to hell. It's crazy. Oh, man. God help us that we don't ever get another president. God help us that we get presidents that are active in their presidency like our current president is. I hope he sets the precedent for presidents, and that if we ever see anybody being lackluster in there and blah, 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 that we get them the hell out of there quick. Don't let them have another term. We need to see somebody that's going to do what our current president's doing, make the effort. You can't take that away from him. He's always got something going for our country, and some people in my family don't want to hear that, and they can't see what he's trying to do. New Fair chair will drop interest rates, so maybe until next May of next year we'll see. John Greger says, but then when your mic isn't working, you spend all your time going over stuff that we can't hear. I am getting better on that. Now, the last time it happened to me was a glitch in my computer. It wasn't the usual, oh crap, I forgot to turn the button back on. It was telling me everything was up and running, and it wasn't. So the last time it got me, that was the problem. Up until then, I'd been doing much, much better. But yeah, sometimes it does happen. It sucks. I'm still, when I get back around to it, I'll try to get some kind of bot activated here, build some kind of bot that will, pick up on the chat when it says, hey, your mic's off, so that it flashes red or something, does something here to alarm me that that's going on. That's what I was working on until Grok tired my ass out on it, and I'm like, I don't even want to talk to you anymore, Grok. We were wondering where Gator has been, and I said the Bears got him. I don't know. He was here, last night before or something, right? He might show up again. John Greger says, for what it's worth, CoinLedger is real good at tracking your trades for tax purposes. I like it a lot. Used it for the last 2 years. Easy peasy. CoinLedger. Might have to look into that. I need something. And Ars Miller says he's been using it too. I think my switch burned up, almost killed my video card tonight. Oh no. Ars Miller says, here's a question. How can people get paid in Bitcoin? Are still having to pay taxes when they withdraw it or buy anything with it? Do they still get taxed before they receive their paycheck? Yeah, always get taxed before you receive your paycheck. That goes down the interesting rabbit hole of income tax, which was implemented at wartime to be temporary for the American people just during war. But as you can see, once you give the government an inch, they take a mile, and you never got that back. The reason why they like you to be employed as a citizen is because that's the easiest way to tax you out of your paycheck. You can't get your paycheck until they take their taxes out. And they like to take out a little bit more than what you actually need to pay, and that's why you're due a refund, right? And, you know, maybe that's okay, but once you get a government that loves to spend money like it's crazy and on stupid crap, it starts becoming a problem and squeezing to where, you know, suddenly you see almost up to half your paycheck go in some kind of form of taxes. And if you live in a state that charges taxes too, oh my gosh, that's just worse. I don't know. I think it's worse. I came from a state that had no income tax. We had high sales tax, somewhere around close to 10%, not quite, but you get used to that. I don't know. Something you got like this little flat, and it took care of everything. All right. It used to be 7. I think it was 9.25 last time I remember. I was from Tennessee. And a lot of people like that. A lot of people going to Texas, Tennessee, and I think Florida does the same thing, and it works well. And you just get used to it, and it's even better if there's no taxes on food. I don't think there should ever be taxes on food. There was. They may have changed it, but when you got 2 separate income taxes to go with, and on top of everything else, you're taxed to death. But it's easy for them to get it out of your paycheck. So your question is, can people get paid in Bitcoin? I haven't found a good way yet. I'd love to get paid in Bitcoin. If I could just have a Bitcoin income stream. The only thing I've found so far is either mining or staking STX, which, you know, it's very minimum return, but it's something. That's stacking Bitcoin for me automatically every 2 weeks, pretty much. And if there's one altcoin that I would choose to hold, it would probably be STX, that I would choose to hold during a bear market, because it can earn Bitcoin while it goes. And sometimes it earns more than other times. I don't know. Kind of cool. Until I, you know, actually get back into a mining thing. But the plan was to take all the massive profits that we're supposed to be here at this Q4 time and, you know, build that out, a little mining farm here. Those profits were visible in 2024, but they're not here in Q4 now. So basically, you get taxed 2 times if I get paid in BTC. Well, if you got paid in BTC, they would still take the tax value out, of course, in dollars, and it would probably be that corporation that's paying you to take the remaining amount and pay you that in BTC. Now, and so that should already be, you shouldn't have to pay any income tax on that BTC. But here's, you know, another thing. Trump was floating the idea. I haven't heard very much about it lately, and it may be in effect, I don't know, but no taxes on American crypto, which BTC would fall into that category. It's accepted as being American founded, or at least that's the narrative behind it. Whether it's true or not, that's the way we take it. And most of the mining happens here and in China. And so I would like to see there not be any tax on Bitcoin. That would be awesome. It's a superior currency. I really believe the whole world will be looking at Bitcoin at some point, just to get away from all the CBDC stuff that's coming out, that's going to be making money controllable, because that's a nightmare, and the mark of the beast waiting to happen right there. And then you got fiat, which, you know, your central banks, that's central bank money. That's not our money. That's not American money. That's central bank money. And that's an evil we should have never let happen right there. That's part of our problem. It's a big part of our problem. But Bitcoin is a nice counterbalance to what's going on there, where you can actually, and you can see, you store real well. Bitcoin will continue to grow up in value. That's why I think it's very important to put our focus more on Bitcoin, and definitely don't put that Bitcoin at risk for altcoins or things like that, right? That's the red lesson I learned this cycle. You got to take care of that Bitcoin. They don't want to stick around. Anita Cho says, I'm buying more next week. Dream Tanks TV says, more painting coming. Possibly. I mean, my target is 84,000, which we've not hit yet. Can we look at this real quick? I've got a trend line here I think is of interest. Wicks to bodies to basically these wicks down here. And this is on the weekly candle. So here would be a scenario that we'd be bullish, and maybe we can pull this off without hitting 85. But if we don't come here, I'm always going to be suspect about this, and I'm going to think, I don't know if I would trust it until we hit it. I would trust it more if we came down here, made a bomb in formation, and then popped up. That's what I would trust right now. As a matter of fact, we're doing the same thing on the smaller time frames for Bitcoin right now, testing a 382 fib. I'll show you. And we may have, I think we lost it. It looks like we did. Did we just drop? So here we were coming here, a nice little W pattern here. We got our first section here. This is our second section, and this is our third, right? We're looking for basically three tiers. You know, you got a beginning, you got a middle, and then you got it's the end. And usually a trend line will help you kind of figure that out, right? A little trickier on this one since it started here, and then we got one hump, two hump. I usually look for three humps and then a dump. I don't know that I'd count this as that. I count this as level 1, level 2, level 3, that kind of idea. But, and I'm on the 6-minute time frame. Here we go from swing low to swing high, and we were playing around with this area here, 236. Great place to start. Great place to hold if we can, and that means that, hey man, we still got a higher high, probably up here at 95 to go to, but we didn't, and broke the trend line very clumsily and nastily at 93. But this other area, the 236 or the 382, now if you're going to make a flag, that's where I look at. So I was entertaining the idea, okay, well maybe they're trying to do this channel or flag, and maybe they'll catch something over here at the 236. That's the only thing, but I don't usually do that. Now, my rule for flags are that, and I think this is very important because there are some flag plays out there with no rules, it seems. But I have a very specific set of rules to play a flag, and it involves Fibonacci's and trend lines. My first rule is if the flag forms outside of the main trend line you're on, it's probably not going to work out for you. It's because you broke trend line. So your flag is a continuation of the trend. And if you broke the trend line, well, there's no trend to continue. It kind of makes sense when you think of it that way. But some people are always, looking for the flag to the upside and consolidate and bounce off the 21, and that's fine. Sometimes it works, a lot of times it doesn't. And when it doesn't, they just skip over and call it something else, right? I mean, but I would rather find something that works. But I was entertaining the idea. We're trying to make a W there, and I'm like, okay, that's very clever. All right, there might be something here. But there wasn't. There wasn't. And then the best signs that I can give you is the broke trend line. So now we're dropping again, and I'm looking for a 786, even a possible 886 correction from here. And that's if we decide not to go lower, right? We did, before I get over there, what we need to do, and I probably already got the lines drawn there. We come over to our top when we were at 95, when we spiked up and we couldn't make it past this trend line here. When was this? The 17th. That was yesterday? Yeah, we're in the 6-minute time frame. Gosh darn it. We were at 95. We were down to 93 and came back to 95. And this 0.5 Fibonacci here, that's one of the first areas I want to see what will happen, because if we rolled over before it, you can almost be pretty sure that we're coming down to these areas, right? Which the full 618 of it comes down very gosh darn close to the main target that I'm still looking for. And if we're looking at local patterns, now remember this is a smaller time frame, this trend line did hold very beautifully. That was cool. Just to see it catch that, and also at a fib level too. But we got rejected off the 618, which that's typical. Okay, that's typical. What we don't want to see is, now we got two options here. We're either doing this, we're on a downward trend, so we got AB equals CD patterns popping off here, which would give us a measure move right down to the 382, negative 382 area extension, and that gives us 86, which is a lower low from where we are. So that's on the table for right now, just on recent price action for what we got. That's on the table. That's a harmonic one. That's the basics of all harmonic patterns is the 382 or the AB equals CD. And for this little locally pattern here that we got, this little megaphone, are we losing it? We might get a bounce here at the trend line and come back up. It might happen. We want to see I like to see partial declines. This is not how they always play, but usually if it's going to break to the upside, we'll get an area where it goes sideways, and then come and test the trend line, and then that's usually where it breaks up, because they do have a good chance to break up. 72% chance to break to the upside, and so we could be looking at that here on the 6-minute time frame for Bitcoin, as well as this, 5-wave structure here. We got 3 areas. Elliot, do you see it? Yeah, ABC correction going on, and we may be near the bottom of our ABC correction. We got those ideas, true. So if we are still bullish, we want to look at the 618. But I've got to say, we got to put these guys on the table. This little range through here. And let me color code it real quick. So if Elliot gets his way, we come down to the 618, and that would be cool. For me, harmonically, that also gives me this guy. Which is an AB equals CD to this way. So we had an ABCD. Well, we've just pulled off here. We got 2 setups based on this. We got a measure move that takes us down to this area. They buried a little bit here. Or we got one that takes us back up here, which is ironically up where we got a trend line, about 95. And I would prefer if I can get me trend lines. There we go, or 382, squaring up beautifully right there. So I would be looking for either one of those 2 ideas to play out. Did you do right? No, it's my fault. Usually it always is my fault. That's what she said anyway. And we went to the actual, okay. Well, I'll stick with that, but the way that you reacted there, we want to put you on the table too. So 618s have a mathematical counterpart squared based on square root. It's the 272s. Don't ever want to forget about the 272s when you got a 618 retracement. All right, so 6 minute, are we going to break through? Could it keep on falling? Maybe. I think that we could bounce around a little bit. There's a death cross trying to happen over here too. I don't see our harmonic pattern over here that would give me this just yet. I don't think I've got one. Let's see. We got our 382 was over here, and then we did you don't qualify. You don't qualify. From high to low over here. Right? A 0.5? Are you one of them little bastards? Well, I don't, could you be? We may be looking at a bat pattern. That's kind of, that could qualify. But that would be the story to get us to the 886. I'll keep that idea on here. So harmonically, based on our high where we retraced to I'm not as confident on this one that this one is valid. But still, we can see. It's coming down to the 1 minute time frame. 28 people hanging out here. Are we catching any traction here on this trend line? Can we dial it in over here and make it look all nice and pretty? Can we do something? So either we bounce here, we come back up for a retrace and either level out, break up, or we start meeting these other guys. But I would expect us to hit here, 91. And then a very good chance that we might come all the way back down to this 89. 800 area. Those would be the two places that I'm really looking for Bitcoin here, even on the smaller time frames on the 1 minute. And that's about as precise as that I think I can be here. And not nary once did I have to resort to the shoulder, head and shoulder. Told you that it was going down. Didn't you see it? You didn't see it? Well, you don't have the special eyes. You need to pay me some money, and so I can teach you how to see it. I don't get into all that crap. That's just... I see stuff like that presented all the time, and I'm like, how the hell is anybody supposed to understand what the hell you're even ever going to be thinking or looking at there? Why not have something that works every time, something a little bit more scientific, maybe something a little bit more math-based, like trend lines, and even, I mean, geometric patterns applied correctly are mathematical. Geometric patterns not applied correctly are, well, they're crap. It's pure and simple, and I don't know, but Mama always had some good advice for that.
Mama always said playing shitty patterns always gets shitty results. And Mama was right.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's my spiel on Bitcoin. We looked at it big time and small time. I could see us getting back up 95,000. That's very within reason here. Biggest place I want to see us come back is retest this 236 fib here on the bigger picture of things. That's about 100,000. And we may get up there, we may not get up there. I've got another little area at 100,088. If we can get up there and reclaim that, then we can look at 106, 107. And we can also entertain the idea of somewhere around, I think, about 116, 113. And maybe some higher areas. And maybe we're starting to make some kind of little slow recovery through December and everything. But remember, this is November 18th. We will be going into December, and every month has those weeks where you're wondering, why is crypto not working now? Why is it not working? Because September was like that. October definitely like that. November most assuredly like that. And I don't think December is going to be any exception to that rule. Where Santa rallies, numbers go up every day of the week. And oh my God, my dreams are coming true. I'm going to pick out a Lambo. I mean, if we're going to be honest, I don't think that's what we're looking at right now. And I'm pretty sure it's not resonating with you either. Cautiously optimistic is the best play that I can say. And let's not try to get caught up in the bear market, right? If you think we're headed into the bear market, this would be the time to look for shorts, and that's why we will look for bearish retests here, and especially here. That might be one of the best places if we come up close to 100,000 to open shorts. The worst places are when we're falling, right? We're falling now. Like, I'm going to go short now. Well, why? We're so close to support. The best places to go short are at the lower highs, all the lower highs. And those lower highs tend to come in at certain fib areas, 618s and 0.5s mostly. Every once in a while we might get a 786, but those are the places to be, especially the 0.5s, to be gauging what's going on there, and they can lead us down to the lower areas. $50 riders. I see 28. PMO says my exchange keeps going down. You'll see that happen a lot too. It goes down right when you need it. And then like on my situation today with I had no reliable internet for the past few days. I think we're still got a technician coming out, but I'm like, they were saying there's no outages reported. We need to send a technician to you, and there might be a charge for it. And then I think there was my wife got a notice today, like, well, they fixed the things in the area. I'm like, so are we still getting a technician that we technically don't need, but probably have to pay for? What the hell kind of racket is that? But it seems to be working okay, but it could be better. And I've been eyeballing Starlink lately. I'm tired of Comcast and all this. My stream's current bit rate is 1239, and I've got it set to like 8,000. And I don't know. My stream quality is just not as great as what it could be. Where is it? Can we up it? Should we up it? I'm gonna up it. I got it at 68,000 right now. I'm just gonna put you back up to 80. What is that? Mama's spitting facts. Bounce at 91.3.
Discord's hymn sang, hold the night. I crumbled into dust. Clung through crashes, no cell to free. My screen, a tomb's cold stare.
I still think that we got a good chance coming. I mean, because we're in between levels. That's a good reason for it to bounce right there. We're touching from this one here is at 1.618. So my explanation would be, yeah, it reached that, but now it can come up and then roll over if we come back down here. So it's a good place for a local bottom. It is a good place for a local bottom. And then our time will apply. Even here on the window time frame. This 0.5 area, which is also the around 92, might not make it past there. Might not. I would be willing to I would lean toward the higher probability that we won't make it past there until we actually kind of tap down on something a little bit more solid. And that's as solid as we've got on the time frames here is 91. But still. We haven't. I haven't found a good place to draw a new trend line yet. A new. There's just not there.
Left my spirit stripped.
May come back to the.
I see the night's true game. I'll rise with bloodless grace.
How long do we read this? I don't know. When did you type it out? Grimtake says, "Rip the mic." It's working, right? You guess what does that? What's going on over here? What was that? There was something over there on the screen. Was that when I
read the charts, keep bets restrained, I shun the crowd's cold wrath.
Manny Bear says mic is low. The microphone is low. All right, let's. How's this? Why was that? Did I turn that down instead of the music? I tell you what, there is always an issue. This should be a lot better, right? Striker says, don't need it anyway. Nita Joe says, the sun was blasting directly into Earth. Mic drop, music only. Okay, well, hopefully. I probably did that by accident. I don't know. I don't remember doing it, but lots of weird things have been happening. The solar flare is affecting the worldwide mechanical systems. Audio is extremely low on the mic, brother. Okay, so we got that. Much better, says Abe. Yeah, I must have turned it down thinking I was turning the music down or something. Weird. I still blame it on Mercury. Could you hear it all? Because I don't want to have to repeat everything. So we're good now? Okay. Well, I see no request for... I don't even see my marker, though. Well, let's take a look at our altcoins over here and see how things are going. 28 people hanging out. Thank you for being here and being patient with the sound issues and everything else issues and the crappy market that we're in and whatnot. Let's come over to the daily and see what's popping over here. MYX, look at you hanging around. You got up to $3 today. Bless your little heart. That's pretty good for you, right? IP story is, it looks like it's going up, right? But she's actually been on a downtrend. A lot of them are. CRB, look at you down at these bear market prices again. All right, I'm going to take a look at a few coins, and I'm probably going to measure them against Bitcoin here. I'm going to zoom out a little bit to the 4-hour time frame. And we'll take a look at Zcash. We'll take a look at it against, we'll take a look at the perpetual futures over here. And, nailed it! Yay! What did we nail? Oh, we nailed, I don't think it was up here. I think it was down here. Or this, it was this target, right? The C target. Anyway, whatever. So it had a nice little harmonic pattern that was working out. Now what's she doing? We got a trend line here. So far is being held. So far. It's a cylinder. It's a expanding, broadening wedge type pattern there. And we do have some targets over here about 850, 790. They're on the table here on the 4-hour, though. It looks like it's trying, or it looks like it's trying to attempt to break down. As when we pull our fib from here to there, we couldn't get past the 0.5. That's when the sign that says, hey man, this area down here is now on the table. And we may be trying to do that here for Zcash. It might be all over. We're going to tweak our little line here, come down to these bodies and say, well, we haven't broke it yet. We haven't broke it yet. We got a 50 moving average, so let's look for that idea. If she can get a bounce here, that would be great. So if a good place to look for trying to see if we're getting any kind of bottom formations on smaller time frames would be about $580. That's where a 50 moving average on the 4 hours hanging out. And so now if we come down to say something like the 15 minute, maybe we can get a better feel for what she looks like down here. And that was a nice rounding top formation here. A lot of people see these as inverted Adam and Eve. You got the spiky Adam and the round seductive Eve. What's this? What's that cleavage thingy looking there? That might be the insert, the insertion area. I don't know how to describe that. But a pointy and a roundy, and then we come down here. Now, one thing that I like about seeing rounded tops is that I don't read them as being as bearish as a lot of other people read them, because you see the rounded tops come down and they come around to about a halfway point or something like that, and then you can get a lift off. So we got an argument that something might still be going on over here. Maybe we still got some luck for some more upsides, but I'd want to see something happen somewhere around 580. That's about $20 cheaper from where we are now, and that kind of sucks. You're trying to build a bag too early and it starts going down, and what even sucks more if it breaks that trend line, decides to go to 450 on a possible pit stop to even lower prices, because this is a bearish pattern here. And they do have a good chance of breaking down to the downside when they do. Until then, they're fun as hell to play to the upside, because they make higher lows and hopefully higher highs. So we are at a tricky area here with that lower high here. They couldn't do much. Got to see if it can do something here. Zcash. So she might be starting to lose against Bitcoin. Let's check it out against Bitcoin. Zcash against Bitcoin. Looks like Binance has got that. We've charted here before. So how you doing on Bitcoin? Snap. We're looking at the idea of this parabolic structure. Oh, look, there's a harmonic pattern that played out beautifully. Went all the way back up to the A point and above. Let's get rid of this harmonic thing, or the curve thing, curve line. I need to zoom out a little bit. I'm on the 15-minute time frame. Let's zoom out. 4 hour. See if we can get a look here. What's that line doing there? I don't have a good solid trend line on that angle. Would have to come over here and play this guy. And I think that's what it was, and I just moved it out of the way. So nice little harmonic that played through. That's a bullish harmonic. I guess the question is, what are we doing now? Not quite there, but is it close enough to qualify? I don't think so. Will you go up there and get that one before we do something? Trying to see if there's a bigger play that could take us down to these areas over here on Bitcoin. I'm not quite seeing it just yet. She still looks like she's curving up a little bit. It's above the 50 here on the 4 hour against Bitcoin. That's kind of good. I would like to find the coins, and this is how we do it, to find the ones that are going to work against Bitcoin. Now, drawing this trend line tells me, well, she's kind of lost her level. So we'll come and apply it down here to the candle body, and that'd be our line in the sand. So losing this trend line for me would be indicative that maybe she's not as strong against Bitcoin anymore here. Still, when I come down and zoom in and follow this trend line, you can see trend line has started, and that's a bearish retest. That's not giving me much confidence that she doesn't want to come down. So we can draw this trend line here, but I'm not expecting it to hold too much. Hope it does, but it may not. So this one's kind of topped out. You're looking at a possible double top scenario. It could end up making an M pattern if the price comes back down to this area, and then we got a measure move that takes us on down here. Could be looking at something like that. Too early to tell. Not a good place to get in to grow your Bitcoin that's already been grown. But the point to take away from this, because there could be something else that this money rolls over into. But look how much it's grown against Bitcoin. From September to here, 1,500%. That's amazing. That was a play to grow Bitcoin right there. That's what we want. That's what we like. And that's the reason for getting into altcoins at all, is so that you can get in, and when they move against Bitcoin, you're making more Bitcoin. 1,500 to 1,800%, almost 2,000%, depending on where you got in here. If you bought in with Bitcoin, or even just sold, you bought in with cash and sold with Bitcoin, you made some Bitcoin gains there. 2,000%. Crazy. In just a matter of 2 months. That was the play of the cycle right there so far. 27 people hanging out with me. Thank you for being here. If you guys got anything that you want to talk about in particular, you can definitely mention it over here in the chat. Something happened this morning which would knock the internet worldwide through Google and Amazon servers. I think that I don't know about other countries. I suspect it probably is. I think our internet grid, and I think our probably power grids and things like that, I think our infrastructure is compromised here in the U.S. We had the influx of illegal aliens coming in over the past 4 years, and there are reputed to be, cells of groups of people scattered around. It's the perfect setup for us to be invaded, our infrastructure to be compromised. We had a damn balloon fly all the way across the damn country spying on us. We had a lot of stuff happen over the past 5 years that just sucked and sold us out, in my personal opinion. And the U.S. started going down a terrible spiral that some people here in the U.S. wanted to just keep on. They liked it and wanted to go back down that spiral, seems like. I don't get this country. I don't get some of the mindsets in this country anymore. That's gotten so far away from where we started. You rug the mic. My keyboard is where. Oh, but I can't spell tonight. I need to come on down here now, can't I? Talk about that cooter, says Strega. Oh, we probably could hit on cooter. Cooters are hibernating. Anita chose the solar wind and hit Earth hard. ISO 2022 upgrade. I don't know when it would affect those coins though. It was in the news. It was in the news when it went down this morning. We're talking about the internet stuff. I'm just saying that here in the States, we had the perfect setup and the perfect opportunity to be infiltrated. I think that we probably were. We just haven't realized it yet. Hopefully that they're working on that behind the scenes and figuring that out. But it wouldn't surprise me if electricity, power grids, internet, and something just suddenly went down once. Or probably first a test somewhere. Oh, let's test that. Make a shot. It work. Yes. Hit the button, she. Oh, she said hit button. I'll be crazy, but until that one day you wake up and oh crap, stuff doesn't work. Oh man, turns out that something. What? This Huawei products are been installed? Oh my gosh. And our cellular networks? I thought, no. Oh, they came from another company. They didn't have the name brand on it, but it was still this. Oh, I got it. Okay. Well, that was a good little workaround there. As long as we can still funnel that money over there, I guess, right? I was having a mouse keyboard issues. Mr. Ethereum says, making a kill in scalp trading. Congratulations, my man. Which ones are you scalp trading? Is it mostly Bitcoin, or you got your eyes on some other altcoins? Gator Squad says, I got 3 gem picks for tomorrow. I hope that they can do astounding wonders over the next few weeks. Because the market's done. They do have cycles. Well, at least Bitcoin has one. I'm still sticking with that. Altcoins, they're a free-for-all. They're not structured like Bitcoin. Very few of them. Some of them are. And those are the ones that you're seeing actually do get your Zcashes, your Dashes. Those are structured very similar to Bitcoin. And they do have halvenings. Litecoin has a halvening. I feel like I had a request for something and I just kind of missed. Oh, it was for Cooter. How's Cooter doing? Let's check them out. We'll come over to pump.fun because since my internet's been down, I haven't been able to do any kind of streaming over there and been occupied with other things and haven't really got any Twitter feeds or anything. I guess I'm the marketing thing for Cooter so far until we get like a bigger community and stuff, and it just kind of takes off by itself. But let's check out Road. I've been trying to figure out what to do with Road, and I may have to in the general marketing plan. Why are you not? Oh yeah, it was for it to be the coin for the gated community for our Telegram group, which I will plan on expanding, and you would have to have so much Road in your wallet to access the group. And Road's not bad. It's at 5.7. It's been higher. Its all-time high was 16,000, and that's when everybody came in on that very first day. The pump and dumpers came in. But this is not just a meaningless meme coin. It will have a utility tied with this channel and with the Telegram group. I'm just initially it was going to be 100,000, but after calculations and everything, because I'm running some of this stuff over through Grok and some other ideas and getting an idea of what all we can do and can't do, but the calculations seem to be off, and that's less than $1 for lifetime access. So I don't know that would be beneficial to the coin or even to the group at all. It definitely wouldn't keep spammers out and just give them free access and everything like that all the time. And it's a very low entry. So I'm not trying to make it where it forces people to come out of pocket with a big chunk of change or anything, but I'm not trying to make it where it's just like, oh man, 25 cents is all you need to get in. I'm not trying to do that either. And this token needs to have some value, and that way it will have something to give back to the people that are buying it and are members of the group. That would be the hopeful thing. Because this thing could get up to a 57,000 market cap. That would be a 10x, and the only thing that can do it is if it had a use case. I don't know. Those are my thoughts on it. So there might be some changes to the roadmap of Road here. It might be more than just 100,000 to required, and it can be adjusted. I think make sure that can happen, and lower the threshold if ever needed to happen there. Because I don't want it. I'm not trying to have some big expensive trading group, but it's got to do something, and it's got to have something to generate income, because I can't keep coming out of pocket for everything, especially as we go into a bear market. So stuff has got to be sustainable, and I believe it can through crypto. But that's the Road coin. Let's take a look at how Cooter's doing. Cooter's been doing better than Road coin, because I think it's a really good meme coin. Where's our search bar? Hello, are we stuck here? And Cooter. Cooter, oh, it dipped below 5,000. We had a little bit of a sell-off there. A lot of a sell-off there. People have been selling that Cooter. Times are so hard, you got to sell that Cooter. See how great of a meme coin it is? That's awesome! Sometimes I throw the thirst traps that appear in my news feeds or whatever on X. If they got some kind of, would you date me if I'm, and I'm like, and I make a little Cooter video and post of them with Cooter coming and stealing the show or doing something funny. It's a great little meme coin. So it's the only meme coin we got in our community. I thought it was a clever idea, and if you like it, you like it. If you want to participate, you can, but I plan on keeping her going and running. The people out there selling that Cooter, you go to hell for selling that Cooter, so what I'm told. You don't want to sell that Cooter. You want to hold on to that Cooter, respect that Cooter. That Cooter has power, and once you realize the power of Cooter, I don't think you'll just be giving it away just willy-nilly. I'm just saying, the power of Cooter. Don't ever forget the power of Cooter. Manny Bear says, can we look at Ondo? I mean, I know everything is going down. We can look at Ondo. Thank you for requesting that. We'll take a look at how long have we been going out. I'm just destined to have a 2-hour stream. I don't know why that is, but apparently I guess it gives some people time to 31 people hanging out. Cool. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. As new to the channel, we're a little bit different, but
for those of you out there that have been hitting that like button, I just want to say thank you. Thank you very much.
I'm just like, it's Elvis. Got to respect the dead, right? Bitcoin Elvis, ladies and gentlemen. The only channel that has Bitcoin Elvis. I'm just saying. It's probably a good thing. 29 people. Okay, that have probably offended some people. Sorry about that. That's how it goes. I figured out what is wrong with Road Dawg screen. Do tell what's wrong with my screen. Which screen? And be specific, because I might be thinking it's one thing and you're thinking it's something else. Because I've got several issues with my monitors and screens right now. What's my screen doing? Anita Joe says, ladies, please. We'll take a look at that one. So we got Ondo, we got ladies. My weekend gym pick is up 10%, says Gator Squatch. Hey, there's So. How's it going, So? Good to see you again. I think it's from the new bank messaging on blockchain ISO 222 upgrade. That's why the services are down. That would make the web services go down for implement ISO 222. I think it's a more sinister reason. No shave Cooter season. No shave November. Oh man, did I miss? That's pretty genius. There needs. I had not thought about memeing the No Shave November thing and No Shave Cooter. So you're saying this is supposed to be Hairy Cooter month? Is how I'm, or Fuzzy Cooter month is how I'm getting it. So Fuzzy Turtles. Interesting. There is no characters on it dancing. Oh, there's not. I did take some of them off. Well, I'd say probably appropriate as a zombie or two. And well, I can get well, Doge is kind of over in the zombie area. I get a little alien because I like my little alien, and our CGI girl's kind of over there with the zombie. He'll probably molest her, so I don't want to put her in that kind of predicament over here. And we got Miss Jennifer over here. I guess we could put up my other side chick, but I try not to let them know about each other, you know? Oh, she's dancing behind Jennifer. Okay, yeah, well. So we got a few there. But yeah, you're right. I didn't have any of them out. We got a little wiener. How about, since we're feeling screwed in the market, how about we just get the wiener dog and the dog out, and we'll go with that. Now we got some dancing characters out there. Because what's safer than dancing in the street while they're coming to get a UFO that crashed, right? That's actually the storyline. If you ever read the storyline behind my little thing, which is about 3 years old, needs to be updated. The story is about the alien who comes in, he crashes the saucer, and then he hitchhikes a ride. I don't know if you've ever noticed that before. Zombies back! Well, it was. There was. So, gotta keep them shaved. Gator Squatch, I do like your beard. Cooters or scooters? Well, sometimes the AI will pronounce it as scooters if there is a $sign there. So, I guess both of them could be correct. What other hair needs shaved, Gator? We got some personal questions going on there. Oh, I'm choking. All right, so let's take a look at Ondo. So Mike is okay, right? Let's make sure that doesn't happen. Is there a way to lock that? My goodness, Ondo, what are you doing? 6 hour chart. Ondo. Now, BitBoy was very big into this one, and that was still tied in with Mr. X too, until he finally, I don't know if he's Ondo and Pith. Wow, that is a beautiful head and shoulders pattern. If I were ever looking at a head and shoulders top pattern, I would be thinking that one has probably already done its thing. That is a textbook head and shoulders. If you're looking at that. Let's take a look at Ondo. What are some of the things that I don't like about Ondo? I mean, it's got a lot of hype behind it, for one thing. The biggest thing I don't like about it is that it's got 10 billion tokens out there, and the ones that are worth 53 cents right now, only worth 53 cents right now, are just about 1/3 of that total supply. And so over the next few years, there's going to be more unlocking of this token, and I think there is every damn day. Sometimes you can find it on here. I guess not this time, right? You're not showing it unlocking schedules. It's on a lot of exchanges here. It's easy to get. What is Ondo? Ondo is a DeFi primitive that enables users to originate risk-isolated fixed yield loans backed by yield-generating crypto assets. It's unique because it's a permissionless protocol that allows users to interact with peer-to-peer basis with no intermediaries. Yay. So we got $1.6 billion market cap, which is huge. The circulating supply is $3 billion. In order to maintain that 53 cent price, well, people got to hold it, and there needs to be no more tokens unlocked. And I'm afraid that both of those scenarios are not going to stay true. There will be more tokens unlocked, and there will be more people selling. And that will make this number continue to go down, especially if we are in the early stages of a bear market, and time-wise we're spot on for that. So again, we're just trying to be real and report what the charts say, but I gotta say that for your traditional patterns, hard to argue with the fact that this is a head and shoulders pattern. If I can find the guy to draw it. We got this shoulder, and we got this little guy, and then We got this up here, and when it turns red whenever we got our neckline in, and I'm a big proponent on a solid neckline. Thomas Bukowski, not so much. That's where I differentiate between him. But this to me is the textbook head and shoulders. Your right shoulder over here is lower than your left one, and that signifies the weakness where this coin did not have enough strength to even make it past this high over here, and that's kind of a death sentence in most cases. That is the beauty of the head and shoulders pattern right there, as far as what price action's doing. It's not the shape, it's what's happening. I mean, the shape makes it easier to see, but then again, you get people that are looking for drunken head and shoulders and think they see head and shoulders in both directions at the same time, and it gets kind of crazy out here on YouTube, right? But to see it as this is a great example of it being a top pattern. This is the perfect example that I could give you of what you should be looking for a head and shoulders pattern, and not just try to see them everywhere. This is where it counts. And it lost the neckline. So, but what else could be here? There's a harmonic pattern here. We go from low with our Fibonacci. We see that we came down to where? Oh, you came down to 786. You're not it. You're not it. Oh, no. Wait a minute. No. You're not it. And then we got your 786. What did you give me? All right. Well, I may be preemptive on that. Got a 382. All right. But here, what did you give me? A 1618 on that one. All right. Well, I'm not going to be flippant with the harmonic. I think there was one there. I just don't think I've seen it yet. I'm not seeing it yet. Okay. Yeah. There you are. Okay. Okay. So we got a 7.8. Yeah. Okay. There we go. There it is. It didn't show up the other way. Yes. And we're looking to come down to the 2. All right. EV88. Why are you doing that? Now we're at our 786 area right now. All right, well, put that idea on hold. I'll play with that one in my free time there. I don't want to go ahead and say, oh, look, we got this, without being at 30. Oh, I know what the hell's wrong. I'm on log. Oh my gosh. Am I on log? Is that why this stuff is acting weird? This stuff is acting weird. Yes, I'm on logarithmic. Oh my gosh, turn that off. No wonder stuff was looking crazy. I may have to go back and look at our Bitcoin stuff and make sure my stuff is not all mixed up over there. So I was on log scale. What the hell is this? Okay, there we go. All right, now, okay, let's see what we got. Still a beautiful head and shoulders pattern, and you like, where's the measure move? Takes us to negative 0. Okay, gosh, I can't. That's okay. If you are a pattern trader, you do not, and if you take measure moves, especially, logarithmic is not your friend. You do not want to be on logarithmic charts. Okay, there's a time and place for them. It is best for big assets. I mean, that's why it can work good with Bitcoin, SPX, and all these other things. It can help on that to scale things. But if you're taking measure moves, yeah, that's going to lead you astray, and you will get, yeah, just like I was like, wait a minute, this is not making sense. Something's not making sense here. So we got that. So what do you have? Is there a harmonic here now? Will you make more sense? You still got 786. We still got you over here. And we're looking for 886, but I don't know that I'm getting the right combination of numbers here. the 109. I would say 113. So something's off just a little bit. They got a few little parameters here. So in essence, some swing low all the way to. Actually, we do it from the A. And a lot of these. We just lost the 786 on that little guy. So I'm looking at these areas here at what is that, 53 cents? No, what is it? What is it? We're 53 cents right now. And I'm seeing the support area at 46 and seeing the support area at 34 if we come down to it. Now I'm going to do something a little bit different right over here. Yeah, perfect. Perfectamendo. So this guy right here, that's the first place I expect 46 cents for us to try to catch the deeper retracement, though we might be bouncing up and down, retracing, then come back down to 33, 34 cent area. That's what I'm seeing for Ondo, and I will go ahead and I'll post this idea. So there might be a short idea, and once we get this is on the daily, so if you're trying to short now, you might be disappointed when it takes a rebound and comes back up to 60 something cents. You're like, oh my god, that sucks. You could be seeing us in a falling wedgie or a falling channel. I will not negate that. I see oh snap! What was that? I hit the wrong buttons over here. And that's what the channel looks like, but we're getting some deviations, a little slight rounding here. So that 47 might be a nice little area to look at first. We complete a little falling wedge, and maybe we break up. Maybe we can recover a little bit more, but just not make it past the 0.5. I mean, if we're kind of forecasting a little bit here. And because this 46 could be a local bottom, and maybe we see as high as up to 80 cents, maybe 88 on a retest. I mean, there's some scenarios that we could see like that. I don't think that everything is just totally dead and downhill immediately from here. I do think and do expect that was to have some kind of relief rally. There will be something that will try to suck in retail, which is us, one more time. Between now and the end of the year. I do think that will happen. Maybe it'll continue into the first of the year. I don't know. But I don't expect a 10-year bull run, okay? I'm not expecting a 10-year bull run, especially out of altcoins. So I can't sign on to the narrative. Let's take this little guy. And we'll post him over in the trade setups area just so we can document this audio that's going on right here. Should I guess maybe. The bigger picture idea. And let's go over to the, where you at, chart room? And do the trade setups. Now the cool thing is, now this setup is bullish, so once it does get down here and confirms this 33 cent area, that's when it could actually get good. Now I can't explain that as far as time goes, but let's take that scenario. If it does, that means it could be coming back up to retest $1 and maybe 145. after it goes through all it needs to do, and that would be taking a while to do it. I don't know. Could there be a rally in the spring out of altcoins? I mean, who knows at this point? It's hard to imagine that we go through, the next year and a half if we are starting a bear market, because if the top is in and that's it, then we got about a year of down and then a little level of sideways for about 6 months before we start seeing the next bull run start to happen. How far can you go down in that part? When we look back and measure it and everything, of course, we'd be going to its all-time highs and measuring down about 90%. And that's 84% right there, to the 33% area. If it went 90 to 95%, we're talking about it getting back down to 7 cents and all that. That could happen over the next year and a half, maybe. I mean, very possible, but hope it doesn't. But what does it mean for this pattern here, this bullish one? I'd like to see it turn into something good, but is it too hopeful? Let's take a look at ladies for Anita. And have we been tracking it here? Is that the one? It looks like it is. Tighten up whatever that is. We have any? Oh, we gotta tighten up you then, I guess. So this one, I keep trying to look for bottom areas, and we've got it. We've been in bottom areas over here. Is that my fault where I moved that? Are you accurate? Just off a little bit. Needs to move up just a hair. So I've got my two main levels I was looking for that, that she had a good chance to find bottom here, but we just lost it. Now we got some other areas down here, but do I have a reason to use them, or just want to use them because they're on my fib levels? I don't pick fib levels just because they're there, unless the next one down. A lot of people do that, like, well, there's our next fib level. Gotta be where we're going. In my approach, there's actually a calculated method to determine which is the highest probability fib level to hit. Not just because it happens to be the next one on the fib marker thing that I happen to have assigned on my fib thing. Some people, I see people do that a lot, and it's not horrible. It's not horrible, but there's no reason explained as to why that area would get hit, right? Man, that's beautiful. That's a 1272 like no other. Backwards, forwards, however you want to look at it. And that's the same fib we just had up in it. So we do have a 1414. I'm going to mark it. But I've also need to find an argument as to why that's valid. And so at the moment, I do not have a reason to tell you why that one is valid. So at the moment, that one is just the next rung down on our fib level. Here would be an argument for that area, which it's not even that area. It's more with where our area is right now. Now this one I find to be a lot more interesting. So from this bigger move over here, where we were, we bottom out in October of 2024, and we rose up to the high. So this was last year's, the bottom, and then it went to the high. Taking that little booger is giving us a 1618. Now let me see if your measure move is going to be from the 618. All right, so we are right now at an area that could possibly be some nicer, stronger support. So I'm going to lean a little bit more with that than I am with this. I'm going to take this one off the radar there. This is kind of a last line in the sand idea here for support, in my opinion. And so now I'm going to come down to smaller time frames and see what we got. And we need to recover this guy right here, that red line. And hopefully we will. So we got a trend line that's going, and you can make an argument we broke out and got back in it. This is a 4 hour. What about any divergences going on? You got a lot of divergence starting to print over here on the 4 hour. It's been there for a while. Get a little result from it, but nothing that seems to hold. Again, you know, this is a meme coin, and it's down in the dirt, and a lot of it does have to do with community rather than actual use case and things like that. So they've been really affected. The memes have really been affected. As people start saying, like, man, and thinking, maybe I should have put my money in the things other people put their money in that were actually moving. And people were putting their money in memes for a while, and then they didn't. They took profits and got out. And so holding a bag of it, whether it was where you got it for free or you moonbagged it or anything, you're still seeing some of those in drawdown. This one's really suffered a lot. I hope, Anita, that we finally are finding bottom here, but I can't promise anything. What I can show you though is that you do have a nice little green dot that printed here on the daily. Now that's good. The bigger time frames say a lot. You got the bearish divergence dot here. We've discovered that it is a 1.618. That's a full measure move from where we came from back last rally last year. So to me, that means something, and I don't know if it will to you, but it does mean something to me. Now here on the daily, what we can point out with our indicators, the stochastics have bounced, and they are headed up. It's at the 20% area, so by bot trading and by stochastic strategy, there's a strategy for all these indicators, and the bots use them or can use them. A lot of them programmed to use them. That would be your buy signal when it breaks past that 20% mark, which is right here. So I see buy signals coming in on the bigger time frames at a strong area. The 1618 is a strong area of support. We don't want to lose that, and it looks like we bounced from there short term, if we can just confirm it and not lose it. Now if I come down to like the 1 hour, so we're kind of still in this little range, and I don't know, will it come back down and retest? That's what, about 5%? At this point in the game, there's so many zeros in here, it's hard to tell. Cross your fingers, knock on wood, that we should start seeing some kind of bottoming pattern start forming here. And I know you've heard me say it up at the 113 up here, the 236. This is my last little marker that I trust right here, the last one that I trust. Maybe we come down and touch it one more time, maybe we don't, but we need to start working up. But there was some, even though the 1 hour is giving us some bearish signs here, the daily was giving us a bullish one, so I've got that to say. There was a lot of buying going on right here in this area, a lot of accumulation here. So you got some people, there's enough people that are looking at this project that say, I'm going to buy me a bag. I want to open me a bag of it right now. It happened. All this green buying going on. There are also a lot of people that did over here too. Looks like they took profits pretty early though. What kind of percentage is that? Was it worth it? How much? Okay, 16%. So they're not waiting for the big profits. They're being very conservative with their profit taking. They're taking what little that they can get when they can get it and staying in and rolling over. Maybe trying to build a bag down here. I don't know. But there were a lot of people that weren't buying over here, so we do have that. 27 people hanging out. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. And it's unfortunate, but it is time for our commercial break. Luckily, they're very short commercials.
Crypto cowboys, moon or alimony bags. Subscribe to Road Dawg Crypto now. Like or bear eats you. Better call Road Dawg.
Objection. He didn't rug, he merely redecorated. Subscribe to Road Dawg Crypto or the SEC redecorates YOU.
She gets house, I keep ape. Fair? No. $300 gas? Road Dawg. Low fees and high sleaze. Hit the like button.
All right, that's our commercials for this evening. Guess we can turn the music back up. PMO says Asia must be mad or people are taking profits on the swing trade today. That's a good point, PMO. last time that we got into a tariff truffle with China, which we've been doing again lately, they like to punish crypto and start selling off Bitcoin and whatever else they got going on. That is a trend that I've seen, and it seems like they did it again with the recent little tariff tip that they had. I don't know if they got that resolved, but it looks like China likes to promise things but then not really do them. Yeah, they kind of suck at holding their word. I'm just calling it as it is. Oh my God, am I going to get banned? I hear a lot of crypto channels are, getting taken off of YouTube. That would suck if that happened to my tiny channel, but then again, it's not like this is a big money maker on or anything. I make 15 cents a stream. Yeah, here's to you guys. Majority of any income I get from YouTube come from your memberships here, and I appreciate that. And I want to put out some more content and stuff over there that you guys want to see. But I appreciate your support. PMO BlackRock has a chunk of Bitcoin. BlackRock doesn't really have Bitcoin, do they? It's the retail ETFs they sell on behalf of them, right? I do know they have their ETF, and that's the big thing. And it is the people that are buying the Bitcoin ETF from them, right? They got their little pool of Bitcoin. It's not like they're going out and necessarily buying fresh Bitcoin. I think they have like a pool that they operate within. So I think that's the best way to capitalize on it. And then, of course, you get the premiums and the fees. Not a big fan of the ETF other than it makes it easier for retail to come in. Like the regular, the stock people don't have to open up some account on some foreign exchange and move money over and go through all that headache and everything. They just buy it, the ETF. And they can also sell it very easy too, right? Gator Squad says, BlackRock is getting ready to dump half their Bitcoin. I would hope not. It is a little bit cheaper than what they purchased it at that dump, because I think they bought 45,000 of them at 42, but they had plenty of time to take profit, didn't they, when we went back up? And I'm sure that they did if they're playing at that game. I don't know how they're playing it. They own most of every damn thing, and they've been in the Bitcoin for a while, on the sly and on the up and up. Gator Squad says, I'm on top of BlackRock. Where's my Lambo and where's my knowledge? I can help you with the knowledge, can't help you with the Lambo just yet at this point in the market. Who's on the bottom? Lambo Cooter. Street Cooter racing. Straight guy. After inflation, YouTube. Oh, yeah. Bitcoin could be retesting the low from its last impulsive move. If it loses that, it's probably giving it all back, I'd imagine. Oh, you talking about the 74? If it loses 74, that's a sign it's done. It's over. There's some hopium. Like I said, 84,000 could turn out to be a good thing, and there could be another surprise higher high. We could get, like I said, the 4-year cycle doesn't mean that necessarily needs to be 4 years to the date before it's over, but we need to consider that. I do think there's a possibility we can get another 6 to 8 weeks, maybe 12. Oh gosh, that's pushing it though. Extension here before a possible top. I will consider that within reason, but I'm looking at it very side-eyed and not trusting them, because this is what a market top feels like. You don't know, and you got mixed results, you got mixed information. But I gotta say, this time we got more people that are actually looking at us, recognizing the possibility of a bear market than we had last cycle. Last cycle was a little bit more euphoric at that little higher high. Got way too euphoric, and you had reason for that. You had a lot of the influencers out here just shoving that down, saying, I told you, look, I told you it was going to do this. And before, that turned to be one of their jump the shark moves. Gator Sakura says, I like it when my gems are in the green. I like it when everything stays green. BlackRock is buying up a lot of the gem picks I gave. Gator Squad says, what? And we got Anita? No, just back to 88-ish. Well, let's take a look at Bitcoin because she's been dropping during our stream here. Coming back to this. Whoa, look, that 618 did not hold. Yeah. So that was the hopium idea of this pattern, and maybe that would hold. Maybe we'd catch something, and we did not. So this was the 382, which, you know, if you're looking for a flag, that would be the place to look for it. And I know there was somebody out there saying, look, it's the flag. It's a flag pattern. All you got to do is on this time frame or whatever, look for the 21, and yeah, you get the, but no. Again, if there's anything that you can learn with me in flag patterns, 382 Fibonacci if you get a bounce there, but most important thing, don't break a trend line. If this was a solid trend line and that hit the 382, that would be a flag. But and also the trend lines, even if you have broke it, if you take it and put it at the thing over here, as soon as you break that, then your flagged idea is over at 92, right? Those are some ways that you can use trend lines to help you not get caught up in those very common ideas out here on YouTube. Because we did make a higher high. That was great. That was great out of structure. I'm here on the 6-minute time frame. Now we need a higher low, and this is our higher low area right here. So we're going to go ahead and clear out this 618 because it was just a distraction. Didn't hold worth a damn, did it? But they say the 618 Fibonacci. It always comes back. Look, it comes back. Look, we just sold the 618 Fibonacci. Yeah, well, there's reasons to look for it. And do keep in mind, we're not out of the woods for this scenario that takes us down to these other areas down here, 80, 86, and 87. I hope not. That would be our lower low. But it is as part of the stair step to make it down here to my target, which is 84. I need to color code these things better. I think all these, I'm going to paint them orange for caution. And I think this area right here, 86 to 87, would make a nice little local bottom. If this one doesn't hold. I hope this one holds. I really do. I would rather see us try to work our way up and then roll over to 84. I'd rather see us come back to 95 and then roll over, rather than just go ahead and do it now. But, you know, I'm not the one that's in control of this market. I'm only just trying to read it as she goes, right? But yeah, we're watching. Hopefully we'll catch something here. This is where I'm expecting this. If we got a chance to catch something for a higher low, it's here. If we're not catching here, well, we're on par for the lower lows. And maybe it zigzags, but eventually 84,000 is where I'm looking at. And then we might actually have something. Or we lose it too. That would suck. That would really suck. So I think on the good thing, you know, over the next week or two, we'll figure out whether we're in a bull market or bear market, more than likely. All I know is I do not want to be in any damn altcoins if we're in a bear market. That's a losing game. And so, you know, like I said, I've got stop losses set. I'm only trying to play the stronger ones. And I've got some perpetual futures things I probably have to shut off that I've been neglecting to shut off as we try to figure out if we got a chance to come back or not. I may just have to take some L's over there and do what I need to do. But first chance of hope, see what happens here. Meanwhile, back on Total 3, what are you doing? What the hell is this? You're not really doing much of anything. I see some rounding going on. We got a target area 850 billion that we could be headed down to. But there is something to be said for what's going on over here. I mean, we lost a main trend line. That green line was not cool to lose. Were you? Let's blow this up. Make sure. Why are you on the board? Zoom out. Oh, that small ass time frame there. What the hell is all this? total 3 on the daily. Let me see if I can doctor this one up again. Look, that makes a nice double top scenario with that little guy that we don't like, which turns out to be several different ways to look at it. I view it as a harmonic pattern now. You can make an argument that we can find some support here. $849 billion. That's why that line was there. Oh snap! What do we do? But our lower areas, they sucky. And we're just going to put this on here as a reminder where we could be actually heading here. So if we don't flip bullish, that's at least another 55% drop from some of these altcoins. And from the very top down to there, that's only 67%. They can go a lot lower than that too. If we are in bear market, that's a if, right? We're still waiting for numbers of confirmations here, but we're getting so much closer to that idea actually kind of maybe becoming true. All right, so here we go. We got you doctored up with our areas and everything that we need to see. I'll go ahead and leave the fibs on there. Now we'll be back out on total 3 and get a little bit better representation. So isn't it kind of weird? That now we got Bitcoin dominance falling, and we're trying to go to altcoin season, but we're not getting an altcoin season. Maybe? Can we? Because it also falls in the bear market too, right? Bitcoin dominance also falls in the bear market. You would think alts would just be doing awesome, and maybe we'll see some money coming to altcoins, but it was usually from people selling off on the Bitcoin, taking the Bitcoin profits and things like that, their Ethereum profits when Ethereum pumps up and all that, and then rolling them over into some of the smaller altcoins, and we ain't seeing that, and people are still hurting in this economy right now. I think that has a big effect for what's going on, and again, I think a lot of that falls back to the last administration, and especially this industry, how they just ruined every opportunity that we had for good things to happen. Every time the market was starting to do something good, they came in to stop it. Also worth mentioning over here, now this is SPX S&P 500. And they're not looking as healthy right now either. So we know that if they're going to be bearish, that people will be selling out of some of the AI stocks and want to put them in something more solid, and they may be choosing Bitcoin since Bitcoin is down. Okay. Well, that's an argument for Bitcoin. That's not much of an argument for altcoins, though. I can see how Bitcoin can get some action. And we talked about the scenario a long time ago. The what if scenario. What if they mostly focus on Bitcoin and altcoins don't get the love this cycle? And that was one of the things that we talked about over several streams, and didn't want it to happen. And I know that would suck. Hope that don't happen. But sure enough, that's how it played out. Wish I had more conviction for that idea, but I didn't. So we're losing the trend lines that we do have, losing the levels, and flirting with the idea of making lower lows here with the juicy altcoin. And basically, I mean, we got a 236 over here, but that's not usually where we hold, right? So we could be seeing this break down about another 600. What would you call this? Dollars? I guess it's dollars. If you want to buy the index. About another 5 or 6% coming down, and hopefully we'll get some traction there. No guarantees at all, but it does look like this trend has been broken. We need a little bit more of a correction here. Don't know what's going on with the AI sector. I know in MicroStrategies is looking kind of rough, and we're going to take a look at some of these guys. I have gotten out of that. Do I have any at all? I don't make a rule to sell all, but she lost trend lines, and a lot of people are shorting MicroStrategies.
Its face. Veteran blood, I own this space.
618. Oh, you're closer to the 6. Yeah. You're not really giving me what I need there. So there's an argument that we still might be trickling down here to 100, and at best to about 143. I think a lot of people are looking at 143, trying to make a Gartley out of this little guy here. I guess from here you would be closer to it, but you went up here. I think that invalidates a little bit. I think you're looking a little bit more batty. So we'll market this little guy 786 and 148. And what else? Nvidia? How's that one doing? A lot of people are looking at that one and not thinking, I don't know, they think it's about to give up. About to go south on us. Is it? Maybe. Look at that top. Could be some correction coming from here. This is on, let's go to the daily. Nice trend line though, higher highs. Definitely looks like she topped out there and needs a correction, so gosh darn it, do I need to unload some Nvidia? You went past 618, my goodness, look at you. What do we have going on here? You got a 382, oh yeah, and you did from the 382. You went to target. One of them, there's another one. 240, I don't know that we'll get that. I want to see how it reacts at about 150. Oh crap, did I do that on the wrong thing? I did. This is where my SPX is supposed to go. First, I want to look at 150 area, see what we can get there, and that'd be a little bit of drop there. It's about 180. So, do I want to sell my Nvidia? I've got no indicators on this chart. Okay, let's see if we can put you back to SPX 500. I think that's the one we had there, right? Yeah. All right, well, we have been going for 2 hours and 20 minutes. I guess we're making up for lost time over the past couple of days here. Gator says, good night, Soul. Good night, everybody. And hold tight, Bitcoin is going to see around 72,000 before it jumps back up. I don't know if we can make a good argument for it to jump back up after 72,000. There's no good argument to be made for that. That breaks price structure. He's not here to defend that position, but I can't agree with that. This goes against what we said. Make a lower low here. That would, if there's anything that would be trying to help confirm a bull market, that would be one thing to break that. Your best hope is 84. Your best hope is 84. So he may be looking at like a 0.5 fib area, or that information may be coming from a 0.5 fib. 71. Probably is. That's not what. If we're going to be making a newer high, like if we're still bullish, it's the 382. The 0.5 at this point in the game, to me, that's confirmation that we're in bear cycle. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for hanging out. I'll come back and I'll go to the end screen and catch up with some of the chat. But that's kind of what our market looks like, and we're just watching altcoins trying to do something. And of course, across the day, they've been holding all right. Of course, I mean, they've been through the ringer, as we can see here on the weekly. For the past week, down across the board about anywhere from 5% to 15%. For the month, just to remind you where we are, a lot of the smaller altcoins are down 25 to 30%. That's huge. Some of the categories doing a little bit better than the other. Top 100 and 200, 300 area. Look at they. It's these guys. Or Alchemy, Digibyte. Never thought I'd see you come back into the mix. You're doing it at the end of the Q4 of the last leg here. That's a great time for you to come into play, Digibyte. Where were you all cycle? Hanging around the bottom. And let's just go over the whole year. How these altcoins looking across the year. Here's the thing. So for the past year, the top 100, it went up 222%. Well, that's an interesting metric, isn't it? Everything else is, we start getting into those below the top 500. Yeah. Ooh, look at some of these down 60%, 64%. These are all the smaller all the altcoins, right? The low market cap ones. The ones that are very low market cap, the lottery plays, the ones that may have some good fundamentals, or somebody might have partnerships with them, but they're still down. Maybe they'll make a come up and stuff like that. But, and of course, a lot of them are vaporware meme coins and things like that too. The big play for the whole year has been in the top 100. That's the only place where the real money felt safe to go. And it only went up 2x, 200% over the past year. For all the altcoin C's and calls that we had, this is what the end results look like as we're going into Q4. Just kind of interesting to see. Interesting to reflect back and, you know, the narratives that were, presented by influencers and whatnot. And to see how well that they perform, because as we're seeing when we take the veil off, I can't think of very many people here on YouTube that can been out here buying Lambos that didn't have a paid trading group, getting their income from some other source. I can't think of very many YouTubers that are very happy with their portfolio performance, especially if you're hodling altcoins. And making longer-term plays on altcoins was part of the program, and I'm definitely, you know, I can't say that we're doing good. I keep going back in my mind and comparing everything to where we were a year and a half ago, and seeing, you know, and I guess that's going to sink in to help me learn some lessons. But that's when it was good, and I, you know, not taking the execution that the market was telling me to do, like just get the hell out. So I have to address strategies and, you know, maybe make some more do things differently instead of holding these coins for bigger plays. Just, you know, you take what you can get when you can get it, because that narrative that worked well for the past cycles of holding and buying in the bear market and holding at the lows and holding until they get up, if you didn't, I mean, seriously, it comes down to, if you didn't sell out of your altcoins, or most of them, in March, April, May of 2024, then you suffered a lot of drawdown, and that was the best opportunity to make that money. But then, you know, you would have had that money, and you've been inclined to put them back in altcoins, so where you would have kept it, it's questionable. But that was the best performance, was that very first leg when we're coming out of bear market, finally getting some traction there with altcoins, and that was it. That was the great wealth transfer, and it went out of altcoin holders, or went into people buying all these altcoins. All right, let's go to the end screen. Thank you so much for hanging out, and I'll catch up with anything over there. We just got to bounce at 88.8. That's a good number for us to bounce at. I think that was actually not on this chart. The 8s have a lot of weight with Bitcoin, if you haven't noticed. It's 88,800 bouncing. That sounds perfect. Will it hold, though? That's the question. Will it hold? And hopefully, that's a 786 retracement area right there. Yeah, we came down. Oh, yeah, to our dotted line. Our little dotted line. I knew we had a target there at 88, right? No. Oh, it wasn't 888 on this chart. It's what are you over here? I don't see 8. It must have been it's a good number. I'm not surprised to see it. I don't see it on any of my charts. It might be on your particular exchange. But the little zone that we were looking at seems to be catching. I hope it does. So there's some hopium. Can we find the chart again? This is not it. Where was it? Yeah, this one. Where we drew our little box. See, I still got the same marking on other charts, but it's a little bit more clear right here. So we are bouncing off the 786. If it holds, we look for a bottom pattern there rather than us just catch a bounce, right? We want to see it start making some kind of formation there on these smaller time frames. A W shape, something like that. But we need to see if we can get back up to 91.5. That would be the first target if you're trying to play this for a long of any kind of sorts. And 92.3. Those are the main targets to be looking for if you're trying to long it. And that's just 1 to 2% gains spot. So it would need some leverage. This was a major move. It wasn't a trend line. Alt crap, says PMO. What's Mamprine? Never heard of it. What's Midol? I've heard of that. Nailed it. Dog, go through my gym picks, love them in the green. I need to get a list of your gym picks. I was making a list, but I don't know where I got it. I don't have a list of your gym picks handy. That's why it'd be good if you can like post it in Telegram or something like that on your list of your picks, and then I can make a list and refer to them. The one that I can remember off the bat was MFG. SyncFab, I remember that one. Is this? No, that's not it. It's MFG. That's this one. I mean, it's found. I mean, we say you got green candles on it, but it's still got some stuff to do, right? Hopefully, we did have we do have a pattern, a harmonic pattern. It's got a target, a pretty good target if it can hit it, right? So this one's got a good setup. This is a bullish harmonic pattern. I think Tailcoin was one of them. Tailcoin's doing good. Tailcoin got the breakout. We got targets 0.008009. She's at a point right now. She may be pulling back here for a retest, though. So I don't know if she's going to go ahead and make it up there. It looks like she needs to pull back before she gets up there. But it did come out and take a few of these guys. Just haven't got that one yet. So it'd be nice if it took this one out and then retested, but don't know. Yeah, that matches with the channel. It just fell out of. I wasn't paying my. paying attention. My internet is cutting out. Oh, mine is too. I see.